human vessel. This is Commander Varric of the Meridian Fleet. You are trapped. Surrender now or be destroyed by the trench.
The transmission reached the Magnolia's red-lit con, where Captain Stephen Driscoll stood at his periscope, unmoving.
Captain, they mean it. They've got us pinned against the trench. Good. Helm, make your depth 2,000 meters. Full dive. Now.
The Magnolia tilted downward and plunged into the crushing dark, leaving the alien fleet above.
They're fleeing into the trench. The pressure will kill them long before our weapons do.
The Meridian fleet adjusted course, 9 sleek skimmers fanning out to follow the Magnolia into the abyss. The depth gauge crept past 1,500 meters, a pressure that would fold most hulls like paper.
They think this is a chase. It's not.
The Magnolia slipped deeper into water that would crush a battleship flat, its crew unnervingly calm.
Launch all skimmers. Drive them into the trench. The pressure will crush their primitive hull long before our weapons need to fire.
The 9 sleek hunter craft peeled away and dove, pings slicing the dark after the Magnolia.
Passing 3,000 meters. Captain, hull creaking a bit, but no leaks. She's singing, but she's holding.
On the alien bridge, data streams began to flash amber. Several skimmers were reporting unexpected hull flecks at depth.
A sensor error. Their hull should be dust. Keep the pressure on.
Minor seepage in ballast 3, Captain. We're on it. Nothing that'll stop us.
Stephen's response was as steady as the hull. He ordered the helm to push on. No hint of doubt. The depth gauge needle swept past 4,000 meters. A crushing abyss where pressure could fold a battleship flat.
Still descending. At this depth, the pressure should have crushed any known vessel. What are these humans?
You think this is deep? We're just getting to where we belong.
Inside the nearest skimmer, the weapons officer clawed at his console. Depth had glitched the firing circuits into useless noise.
Why isn't that boat burning? Any impact will do. Fire.
A torpedo finally launched, but its own motor strangled under the weight of the sea. The shot spiraled and died 100 meters short.
Captain, 1 torpedo launch detected. It's erratic, probably crippled by the pressure. They can't handle the depth. Secure all countermeasures. Silent running. 2 knots. No reactor circulation. Give them nothing to hear.
The sonar screen dimmed as the Magnolia went dark. Propeller noise fell to a hum. Running lights blinked out.
Active pings are fading, Captain. They've lost us. Running blind now.
Scour the trench. Active sonar. Full power. They can't have just dissolved.
The alien crews threw every sensor they had into the black, but the trench swallowed their signals whole.
Let them scream into the dark. The ocean has a way of making people feel very small.
The lead skimmer pushed too deep. Its hull groaned once, a single metallic scream, then crumpled like a tin can. On the Magnolia, the sonar screen erupted with a sharp spike, then silence. One of the hunters had become a gravestone.
Captain, acoustic transient, catastrophic hull failure. One of the skimmers just imploded. Mark the depth. Their machines break where we merely creak. Keep the boat steady.
On the alien flagship, the command panel blinked red. Commander Varric stared at the empty space where Skimmer 3's signal had been.
Report. What just happened? That skimmer was in weapons range. How can the human vessel still be intact?
The alien bridge crew worked in frantic silence. The data was clear. The human submarine had passed 6,000 meters and was still descending.
I don't care if the pressure crack welds. Push the remaining skimmers deeper. I want that boat crushed.
The remaining alien craft obediently angled downward, their own status boards beginning to flicker with severe pressure warnings.
Good. Follow us a little longer. We're not even to the interesting part yet.
I want a full structural analysis of that human hull. Pull every sensor record. They should be dust at these depths.
The alien engineering station flooded with data. The human vessel was enduring pressures that should powder their primitive alloys.
How can a species with such fragile bodies build a machine that mocks our best engineering?
A second skimmer broke formation, its hull screaming stress warnings. The pressure was peeling its armored skin like sunburned paint.
Tell Skimmer 5 to hold station. They can't. No, they must not withdraw. We have the advantage of numbers.
Aboard the Magnolia, the crew moved with quiet precision. A welder patched a seam drip, while the chief checked rivet temperatures.
Captain, hull's still solid. Minor seepage on the starboard flange, but nothing the pumps can't handle. We're holding. This is our element, Mora. The cold, the dark, the weight. We were built for this.
On the alien bridge, every status board told the same story. Human steel was holding where alien composites were failing.
They're not running. They're leading us somewhere. But where can they go that we can't follow?
Varric stared at the holographic depth chart, his crest dimming. 3 skimmers lost, the human vessel still descending. He gave the order.
All units, hold position. Do not descend past 6,000 meters. We will let the sea crush them, or starve them into surrender.
The remaining skimmers climbed, their tortured hulls groaning with relief, forming a loose picket line 2,000 meters above.
Captain, they've stopped. Active sonar is fading. They're pulling back to a safe depth. That's our cue. Bring us to 8,000 meters and level off. We've reached the silent hold.
The Magnolia descended further, her hull moaning deep, until she settled onto the vast emptiness of the abyssal plain.
Silent hold, sir? Is there a plan we should know about? We're not just running. We're drawing them into a place where the deep is our weapon. Then we act.
Outside, the abyssal plain stretched into eternal darkness, a crushing cathedral where the Magnolia lay silent and unseen.
We'll rest here. When they get impatient, we'll remind them exactly who owns the deep. All hands, this is the captain. Rest is over. We're going hunting. Rig for ultra-quiet ascent.
The announcement rang through the compartments. The crew moved with trained efficiency, stowing gear, sealing hatches.
We'll ride the thermocline up, using its distortion as a sonar blanket. They won't see us until we're right underneath their keels. Silent ascent on battery. 2 knots, angle 10 degrees. We'll be in their baffles in 20 minutes.
The Magnolia's electric motors whispered to life. She began to rise, a ghost sliding through liquid midnight. Aboard the alien flagship, Commander Varric's sensor operator reported a faint echo moving up from the abyss.
They're surfacing. The pressure must have crippled them. Stand by to engage as soon as they break the thermal layer.
Varric's confidence returned. The human vessel was finally crawling back toward the light, into his waiting picket.
You think we're surrendering to the light. You don't understand that we bring the dark with us.
The Magnolia rose, her sonar shadow merging with the trench wall, invisible to the aliens scanning the empty water above. The alien picket above was not idle. As the Magnolia displaced water, the pressure shift rippled upward, squeezing already strained hulls. 2 skimmers, their hulls already microfractured from the earlier dive, suddenly reported catastrophic stress. Then their signals vanished.
What is causing those implosions? They're nowhere near their depth limit. Commander, the human vessel, it's not surfacing. It's directly below us, closing fast.
Varric's crest blanched. The faint sonar echo had firmed into a distinct contact, rising from the trench like a judgment.
They didn't flee. They baited us into a trap where only they can fight.
Flood all torpedo tubes. Prepare to engage on my mark.
The Magnolia rose as an avenger, her torpedo tubes swinging open in the silent black. Alien cruise stations erupted in frantic warnings. For the first time, the Meridian Bridge smelled of fear.
Now they understand. The deep isn't a grave. It's our home, and they're trespassing.
On the alien flagship, Commander Varick's options collapsed into a single, horrifying truth. He could flee and be disgraced, or dive and die.
They're beneath us. If we stay, we die. If we dive to engage, the pressure will implode us.
The Magnolia answered. A decoy torpedo shot from her tubes, its noise filling the sea, while a deafening active sonar pulse hammered the alien hull.
That ping, it's a human code. They're mocking us.
The alien crew, trained for 1,000 battles, now begged their commander to retreat. Even the flagship's hull was groaning.
Number, we will not run from primitives. Charge all weapons, set depth to engage. We end this now.
The alien flagship angled downward, its frame already weeping stress. Every status board blazed with pressure warnings.
They're taking the bait. Helm, maintain depth. Weapon control, stand by. Let them come to us.
Varick's ship plunged, its hull screaming as the Magnolia waited like a coiled serpent in the crushing black.
1 more mile, Commander. Then you'll see what real pressure feels like.
The alien flagship loosed a frantic volley, but depth strangled the torpedoes within seconds. They tumbled and detonated harmlessly, swallowed by the crushing sea.
Hard right rudder, all ahead flank. Fire all tubes.
The Magnolia's torpedoes streaked upward, riding the density layer with precision. The first warhead found the alien cruiser's keel and split it wide. Varick's screens flared a fatal crimson. The groan of shredding metal filled the bridge before the comms went silent. The flagship imploded, not with a burst, but a sudden crumple, as if a giant hand had crushed it into a ball of scrap.
1 less enemy in the deep. Captain, flagship is gone. Remaining contacts are turning away, heading for the surface.
The remaining Meridian skimmers clawed for altitude, their hulls crying out, knowing the deep now belonged to the humans.
Secure all tubes. Bring the boat to periscope depth. Let's see what's left.
The Magnolia, her hull scarred but unbroken, began a slow ascent through the silence of her triumph. The Magnolia hummed with the quiet aftermath of battle. Damage reports trickled in, minor flooding in the engine room, a cracked manifold, but nothing fatal.
Captain, DC parties report ballast pumps are handling the seepage. Hull integrity is holding. Good. Keep repair teams on it, and get me a status on the remaining alien contacts.
The hydrophones filled with alien distress pings, frantic, automated cries for help from the fleeing ships.
Sir, 2 more skimmers just blew out on ascent. They're ascending too fast. Their hulls can't take the pressure loss. Let them go. We're not murderers. Secure all weapons and bring us to periscope depth.
The deep was merciless. Even in retreat, it claimed its tithe, crushing the damaged alien craft that tried to cheat the ascent.
The ocean doesn't care about victory or defeat. It just is. And we belong to it. Captain, last contact is fading. They're breaking into open water. They're gone.
The Magnolia's sonar screen cleared, leaving only the empty hiss of the abyss. The battle was over on the surviving alien command ship. The junior officer who inherited command opened a channel. His query was edged with bewildered dread. Human vessel, how did you survive? Our scans show your hull enduring pressure that crushed our flagship. How is this possible?
We're submariners. The deep is our office, our home. We don't just survive it, we live there by choice.
The alien bridge fell silent. The species that built pressure alloys was being lectured on depth by a primate. The acting commander stared at the speaker grill, then began dictating a classified report. His voice trembling, he described the human vessel's impossible dive, the ambush from below, and the cold indifference of its captain. The question had shifted from how to destroy them to how any species could make a home in a death zone.
Let them catalog us. The ocean's weight is a comfort, not a curse.
The alien analyst marked the file. Humanity's undersea forces were not naval units. They were something else entirely. The encrypted burst shot toward the Dominion Council, carrying the first frightened whisper of a new threat name. The Magnolia set a course for home waters, the red-lit con easing into a weary calm after the violence of the deep.
Secure from battle stations. Rig for silent transit. We've earned some peace.
He pulled a rag from his pocket and began wiping the skull paint from his jaw, the white smearing into gray.
Sonar holding clear, Captain. All contacts gone. Just the sound of our own props.
The communications officer intercepted a fresh burst from the fleeing Meridians. Not a threat, but a clinical analysis. Human submarine personnel are volunteers. They endure lethal pressures by choice, using the deep as a deliberate tactical weapon. Recommend immediate reclassification of human undersea assets as extreme environment hostiles. Do not engage in their element.
They're starting to understand. Good.
The Magnolia sailed on, her steel hull ringing with a deep, soft song, leaving the aliens to their frightened, fragmented reports.
Maybe next time, they'll think twice before chasing a boat into the dark.
The Alien Intelligence Unit compiled the field reports into a formal threat assessment, its language shifting from tactical to terrified. New designation: Pressure Adapted Hostiles, a species that builds machines to deliberately enter lethal crush depth zones, crewed entirely by volunteers. Recommendation: mark Earth's oceans as absolute no-go zones. All human submarine assets are to be avoided. Do not engage in their element. A holographic chart appended to the report marked every known human submarine base with a crimson exclusion zone, spreading across the globe like a stain. On the Magnolia, the comms officer read the intercepted text aloud, his voice flat with disbelief at the words he was hearing.
Pressure Adapted Hostiles? That's what they call us now. Sounds about right. We earned that, from hunted to legend in one transmission. The Ghost Fleet.
The transmission ended with a stark order: authorize immediate quarantine of Sol system deep water. No vessel approaches without council override.
Let them quarantine the abyss. It's ours, not theirs. We'll be waiting down there, in the dark.
The crew exchanged glances, a new badge of honor settling on their shoulders. Pressure Adapted Hostiles, the steel tribe of the deep. The Magnolia's comms officer stared at the incoming message, then read it aloud with a furrowed brow. From Fleet Command. Understood. Welcome home, Pennsylvania H's.
Pays? What's that supposed to mean? Sounds like some kind of acronym. Pressure Adapted Hostiles. The aliens' own designation for us. They're terrified of what we represent.
A ripple of dark laughter spread through the con as the crew absorbed their new title.
We've been called worse. At least this one's accurate. May as well own it.
Fist bumps and weary smiles circled the compartment, the weight of the deep lifting for a moment.
Pressure Adapted Hostiles. I like it. Sounds like we're the monsters under the bed. Monsters? Number. We're just the ones who aren't afraid of the dark.
And so the steel tribe of the deep sailed on, their new name both a shield and a warning to any who would follow. Light years away in the vaulted chamber of the Dominion Council, the field report from the Meridian survivors was projected for all to see. The human submarine service operates at pressures that implode our battlecraft. Their crews are volunteers who treat the abyss as a routine posting. A council elder spoke, his voice resonant with disbelief. How do you combat a species that turns a death zone into a tactical advantage? Recommend immediate reclassification as Pressure Adapted Hostiles. The debate was brief and horrified. No counter-tactic could be imagined for an enemy that lives where your own ships die. The council voted unanimously. Earth's oceans would be marked as forbidden. Any human submarine would be granted a wide berth, its path unchallenged. The strategic database updated. Human submarine assets reclassified as priority avoidance targets. Do not engage in their element. The decision rippled across the Dominion's networks. A silent alarm. Fear the deep, for it now belongs to the pressure-adapted hostiles. And aboard the Magnolia, none of that mattered yet. The crew simply sailed on, stewards of a weight they wore like armor. The adrenaline ebbed, replaced by the deep hum of repairs and the soft shuffling of tired sailors.
How's your section holding up, petty officer? Look like you've been arm wrestling a pressure valve.
In the mess, a sailor toasted their new classification. Weary laughter answered, a balm against the silence. The name had settled deep, a dark pride that straightened spines even as fatigue pulled at every muscle.
They'd earned that name. They'd bled pressure into the ocean and returned it as cold steel. Captain, depth steady at patrol holding. All systems nominal. We're in one piece. Battered but breathing. Good. Keep the repairs going. We'll take her home. Scars and all, she's earned it.
Throughout the boat, welders sealed microfractures while sailors mopped up the ocean's slow, relentless intrusion.
A boat that can take this kind of punishment. She's earned her rest, too.
The Magnolia pressed on through the black, her crew, a tribe forged in pressure, their legend already spreading among the stars. The Magnolia drifted upward through the cold layers, her battered hull groaning as pressure lightened.
Blow main ballast ahead. Bring us to the roof. I want to see a sky that's not made of steel.
Compressed air roared into the tanks, and the boat breached the surface with a cascade of foam and liberated pressure. Stephen climbed the ladder to the small open bridge, the first real air hitting his lungs in days, cold and alive. He sucked in the salt-laced breeze, his eyes scanning the horizon, empty of any threat. The stars above were cold and indifferent. The communications mast lifted, and a burst transmission shot toward the distant shore. PH is returning home. Mission complete.
They know now. Every ocean on Earth is a fortress. They'll think twice before chasing another boat into the dark.
The future would bring a different war, one where humans were the monsters in the deep, feared and avoided.
Secure the mast. We'll recharge, and then it's back to the dark. But for tonight, we breathe.
The Magnolia floated in the calm sea, her crew resting, their legend now written in the annals of the enemy. After the recharge, the Magnolia slipped beneath the waves, the dark water welcoming her home.
All ahead 2/3. Make your depth 100 meters. Quiet routine.
The red-lit con settled into the familiar rhythm of transit, soft pings marking their invisible road.
Course steady. All contacts clear. We're alone down here, Captain. Good. Let's keep it that way. We've had enough company for one patrol.
In the crew's quarters, exhausted sailors curled into bunks, their dreams already deep. Stephen paused by Mora's station, a wordless exchange passing between them. Acknowledgement of what they'd done, what they'd become.
We went down as sailors. We're coming back as something else. The enemy gave us a name, and we'll wear it.
The boat hummed onward, a quiet certainty settling over the crew. They had faced the crushing deep and made it their own. Home was still miles away, but for now, the Magnolia and her pressure-adapted hostiles were exactly where they belonged. The water outside shifted from abyssal black to a deep coastal blue as the Magnolia crossed the continental shelf.
Come to periscope depth. Let's take a look at home.
Stephen pressed his eye to the rubber cup, and the lens cut through the murk, finding the first glitter of shore lights.
There she is. The pier lamps are lit. Looks like they're expecting us.
Through the periscope, a distant signal lamp blinked a steady message across the dark water. The lamp spelled out, "Welcome back, Magnolia."
They know we're coming. They know what we are now. Pressure, adapted hostiles. That name might have been born in fear, but it's coming home with us like a banner.
He lowered the periscope, letting the image of home settle into the quiet hum of the approaching boat. The Magnolia glided on, the pier lamps drawing nearer, A journey's end written in salt water and steel. The Magnolia settled against the dock. Engines silenced. Shore crew secured the lines, the gangway lowering with a metallic groan. Sailors filed out, faces carrying the deep's long weariness, greeted by hushed respect from the base crew. Stephen stayed in the con, the red emergency glow now fading as shore power kicked in. He placed a hand on the periscope, the metal cool, a silent anchor in the quiet. A young sailor hesitated at the aft hatch, his silhouette backlit from the dock lights.
Just saying goodbye to the deep. We'll be back.
He turned, and together they climbed into the salt-tinged night, leaving the red-lit con empty on the dock. Stephen paused, looking back at the Magnolia's dark hull, its scars hidden in the shadow. The Dolphin's insignia on his coverall caught the pier light as he stepped onto solid ground, the sea still singing in his ears. The story of the Magnolia spread through the silent service, a legend forged at pressures that turned alien steel to dust. Pressure-adapted hostiles transformed from an alien warning into a human badge, worn with dark pride by every sailor who called the abyss home. In the Dominion's war councils, Earth's oceans were quarantined, no longer battlefields but forbidden depths, haunted by an enemy that thrived in crushing dark. The Magnolia refitted, her welds cleaned and her torpedoes restocked, while her crew cycled through shore leave, already missing the deep's embrace. Captain Stephen would stand again in the red-lit con, the periscope his window to a world only humans dared to claim. The deep called them back, not as a duty, but as a truth. They were the pressure-adapted, and the immense weight was simply where they belonged. And when the next alien threat breached the solar system, they would be down there in the cold, in the dark, ready to remind the universe exactly who owns the ocean. The Magnolia's silhouette faded into the marine layer, her hull a promise. She would dive again and again, as long as humans drew breath and the deep called their name. Below the waves, in the silent kingdom of pressure and night, the pressure-adapted hostiles waited not because they had to, but because they chose to.